Today's challenge is to move some lilies. Stick around. So I'm just going to weed out around the lilies here and haul everything off to the compost pile. Once I get the weeding done, then I'll dig them out and I'll separate them into individual rooted plants. And there were a couple big clumps in here. I probably could have gotten, there were probably 25 or 30 actual plants that I could have made out of a lot of these here. So I'm going to dig this one out over here. The cat shows up. I'm going to dig this one out here. This was probably the biggest one. It had a ton. Alright, so we got the lilies dug out, and we've got the bed started over here. Just turn you around and take a look at that. There's the lilies dug out. Some of them separate. I did start to plant one of them. Put down some weed fabric here. Cut it down the center. And then I'll be able to plant in there. And then I'll use some staples to go ahead and secure that back over there, and then eventually mulch this bed off. Try and come back over here out of the wind so you might be able to hear me. But that's the plan for right now. So stick around and we'll get these lilies planted up here. So you saw me plant the first one there in real time. I'm just going to speed this up a little bit here. As you can see, I'm taking a spade shovel and I'm just taking the clump of lilies and I'm actually just digging down through them and splitting them in half. I found that this plant is about as resilient as you could possibly get for a plant. I've done this many times, separating lilies. They're great because you plant them one time, you buy them, plant them one time, you put them in the ground for a few years, and they make you so many more plants. It's phenomenal. I love them. They might be my favorite flower to plant. They're so forgiving. I've never had a problem with them. I don't know that I've ever had one actually die on me after doing this. Some other people out there are probably more familiar with the lilies. If you think what I'm doing with a spade shovel, cutting them in half, to replant them is not a good thing, please let me know. I mean, I'm always willing to learn from someone else, but I've done this multiple times and I've never had a problem separating these guys up and replanting them somewhere. You could cover your entire yard with a small purchase of these in a few years of growing time. Actually, when we planted this bed the first time, I think we bought 4 plants. I could probably make 100 plants now. So great plant. Love them. So here I'm just putting down some fabric staples just to hold this weed barrier down. I'm putting it around each plant, and eventually I'm going to come back in here and mulch this whole bed around the lilies and try to keep the weeds at bay. I'm hoping between the weed fabric and the mulch that I'll just have lilies growing. Yeah, it's a struggle. The weeds are prolific and they grow. God has given weeds the ability to grow just about anywhere. So I have weed fabric I put mulch on top of wood chips, and weeds grow on it, so it's crazy. All right, so there you have the lily bed. We got it weeded. We got some weed fabric down. We separated and planted the lily bed back. So just went along, used some of these fabric staples you can buy. Comes with the fabric or the weed barrier. What we're going to do is eventually come back in here once I can get some mulch, and we're going to heavily mulch this here. Hopefully between the weed fabric and the mulch we can keep the weeds at bay in this bed. It's been a serious problem here, and I've been meaning to get this weeded and these lilies separated. They're pretty, I found them to be pretty hardy plants, so you can pretty much, you see me cutting them with a shovel. You can pretty much plant them almost anywhere, and they seem like they'll grow. So we shall see. I'll keep you updated on these lilies here, and thanks for coming in and sticking around today to the end of the video. If you like this kind of stuff, I'm going to leave a video right down here. You can go and take a look at some other gardening stuff I got going on here at Wonder Why Farm. So thanks for tuning in. I want to say I hope everyone's staying happy, safe, and healthy, and have a God blessed day.